Hey guys, Josh here, and today I thought we'd take a look at the leader of the Dinobots. This is G1 Grimlock. Now, with this guy being one of the most popular Transformer characters of all time, this guy has several different variations out there. The first one being the Diaclone mode, which is basically the exact same as this, except for he has a blue waist piece, which is red on the Hasbro Takar version, and he also had a chrome sword instead of the red sword that you see here. Now, I read up and did some research on this to see that there was one other thing that they did change, and apparently on the Diaclone mold, they actually had sharper teeth, and for the Hasbro Takara one, they kind of filed them down a little bit. But whenever I looked at pictures of both images, I really couldn't see that big of a difference. So that's something that I thought I'd kind of bring up, but it's not something that I think that you can look at pictures and say that this is obviously a Diaclone or this is a Hasbro. Some of the other ones that came out was the original G1 that you see here. Then there was also a Classics collection, not the ones that you see in stores today where figures are being called Classics, Generations, Universe, and all that stuff. The original Classics collection were G1 figures, but they were exclusive to UK and Australia, and they actually had Classics printed on the bottom of, I believe, the left corner of the box, which basically was in G2 kind of writing. So that's kind of how you could tell that those were Classics figures and not the original G1s. Some of the other things that this guy had, and we'll just take his weapons off here for a second, was a few G2 molds. Now, this is one of three of the G2s that came out. There was the dark blue one that you see here. There was also a lighter blue one, or kind of a turquoise, and there was also a silver one, but you can definitely tell the difference whenever you started looking at the Autobot insignia, it being a G2 or a G1. Also on the G2, one of the weapons that it didn't come with, looks like I just lost the missile. Got another one here. It didn't come with the rocket firing missile thing here, and it is spring loaded for the G1, and as you can see it's not that powerful, but it is old. It also came with a double cannon that you see on most Grimlock toys, especially the Masterpiece, and it also came with a red sword. Now the G2, the only thing that was missing, like I said, were the 3 missiles and the rocket launcher. But let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation on G1 Grimlock. Does have a little bit of movement here in the shoulders. Really can't bend here, but as you can see, just the way that if you don't slide that all the way up, he can kind of bend there at the wrist a little bit, but it just kind of looks silly, and then you can't have the hole showing on his hands. As far as waist, does not rotate. Legs, they don't really do anything. They can kind of go in and out, I guess you could say, but it's not that great. And he can bend at the knee, which that's not too bad. It's kind of a dumb pose, but G1s weren't really meant for their articulation, more for imagination and the transformation and looking cool. And they put all the little nice chrome pieces, the rubber tires and die-cast pieces. It does have die-cast right here, but really cool little figure. Now, something that you might remember is in the anime, he actually had the blue eyes, and I believe he had blue here. I'm not really sure. I forget at the moment, but let's go ahead and do one comparison with him in robot form. And it's the same one that I did with Swoop, just so you can get a really good idea of the height comparison for Grimlock and Swoop as well. You can see him next to Jazz. So this is a little bit more anime or cartoon accurate with Jazz. Still pretty tall figure, but Grimlock's definitely a lot taller. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this guy transformed. First thing that we're going to do is pop these little hands out right here. Then raising those up, you can see that you can move the legs over here to the side, and this is probably the most fragile part. You want to bend these down, line it really tight, because a lot of times you end up breaking that little joint right there off. I remember that I probably had as a kid probably about 5 Grimlocks, because my mom, she just got tired of super gluing them, and a lot of them, they ended up just like that because we couldn't use that joint anymore. But I was young. Go ahead and pull that around, then you can pull this end of the tail around as well, and that'll fit together just nicely. This section here, you're going to pull out, and it's just going to swing down just like so. Pull the arms down. This swings around, and that snaps up on top. And there you have G1 Grimlock, nicely detailed. This, it doesn't have all its stickers, but you get the general idea. You have some here, and you're supposed to have some back here as well. It does have a seat for the Diaclone driver that the original Diaclone came with, so that's something that they also dropped whenever they brought it over for Hasbro and Takara. If you look at the G2, it has it as well. And you can see there's a few more stickers on this guy. But let's go ahead and take a look at him with the rest of his pack here. So there you have Grimlock, Swoop, what is it, Sludge, Slag, or is it, it's normal? I forget their names sometimes. Anyways, there is a review on G1 Grimlock. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I have, I believe, coming in today, Masterpiece Prow and Fans Project's Weird Wolf. So I might put those up, one of those up tomorrow. But I will continue on with the original G1 Dinobots later this week and maybe beginning of next week. So talk to you later, guys. Bye.